Welcome back, everybody. We're playing Blades in the Dark. We're at session 3 here. We're going to see what interesting things our gang of thieves can get up to this time. So last week, you guys stole a horrific, interesting artifact from a noble house, Lord Vorus.
A screaming man
yes,
made of ivory.
A screaming man made of ivory. However, his ghost wolf did pick up on your scent. Yes, it was a 4-count clock.
And a dog clawed James's face off.
Yes, it did. Yeah, Arthur got a scar that he remembers.
He's scary looking now.
Strangely enough, I must not have tasted good enough for the dog to trap me, and instead...
this is a different dog, right?
No, it's the same dog.
It was the same dog?
It might have been the same dog. There was only one. There was only one. If there had been 2, you guys would have been in a lot of trouble. Okay, so what are you guys feeling? So you're back in Havelock's in your lair, unless you want to be doing something else.
Okay.
It's been a couple of weeks have gone by.
We did some downtime stuff
since Vorus's house got robbed.
We probably haven't seen you in a while.
Correct.
Arthur's been off with Bruce. Yeah, I made that clock for Bruce.
Unload the statue?
No.
We have not. She's researching it.
Okay.
Or somebody is.
I am.
You are, okay.
Yeah. Is that a plan? A long-term plan of yours?
It's a project I'm working on. I want to figure out what it is so that if we're going to sell it, because we don't want to just pawn it. We want to try to get
and also if it's like cursing us while it's
Mucho
here,
Dolores.
Yeah. But we also have
money too.
We have to be cautious about like who we bring it to because we don't want to be like, oh yeah, only Lord Vorus has that. So.
Yeah, I'm assuming most of the research that you've been doing has been incognito or carefully covered up.
Yeah.
So Caelin's heard like ripples go throughout her spider network of informants and stuff like that. That as soon as Vorus got back from his trip, he has been asking around about what had happened. Like,
have you seen a screaming man?
He's got under the shirts of the blue coats of the city. Like he's used what little sway he has in the city council to get the blue coats to start actually doing their jobs, and they've kind of stepped up patrols. And there's rumors that an investigator is going to be put on the case soon, which is very weird for a case of this nature because investigators usually only deal with imperial.
Maybe we shouldn't have
he got his clawed face.
Daring.
He got his clawed face off.
Daring.
Yeah.
We gotta steal something.
Yeah. That's
how you determine if a heist was good enough, is if like someone nearly died.
Because that'd be
I mean we gotta have something to show for it. If one of our members nearly died.
Net gains, net loss.
I'm gonna lose one part of my body at every job that we do. That's
leave it behind. They'll be able to figure out who you are eventually.
And then you won't be Batman or Two-Face. You'll be like the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, right.
Well, $8 million man.
We can
I'll slowly become like
I will replace every part of my body I lose.
You'll be RoboCop
with Ghost Phlogiston.
You can actually become RoboCop in this system. If you die, your ghost can be put into a hole, which is a clockwork robot.
There you go. That should be what you aspire to become.
Ooh, I could become a hollow.
You could. You'd want to be a hollow. A hollow is basically just a zombie. Oh. It's a hollow is a body without a spirit in it.
Oh,
if a spirit is put into a body, it becomes a vampire. you could go for that.
Definitely a promotion.
You could go for that if you wanted to.
Double the spirit?
Yes.
All right, so
I'm gonna give up.
You've heard about that. And Arkady has been talking to you, Caelin, because you're his contact. That the Wraiths are not happy about the fact that there was
they're doing a bunch of digging too.
Yeah, like the Wraiths are looking around for stuff. Apparently, the rumor is that they cased the joint. Arkady lets you know that they cased the joint and tried to find out information about it, and they realized that Vorus came back from his vacation earlier than anticipated.
Ooh, that could have been us.
And thus ruined their chance to get in the house. And
so they don't even know exactly what happened.
Well, that's the weird thing. They
word got out.
They apparently are. Then the word kind of got out.
Yeah,
they apparently are convinced that somebody hit the house before they did.
Yeah, he came home early because.
So is Arkady facing some heat from them?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing he can't handle. Like it's nothing I'll make a clock for or worry about right now. But the Wraiths, because it could be a variety of things, right? The Wraiths don't immediately go to our informant double-crossed us because they're thinking, what does Arkady get out of this, right? Yeah. They probably investigated that avenue and found that there was nothing he was tied to, so they dropped it.
So, you're still an active member of the investigators,
No.
Right? Oh, you're not?
No.
She's
most intents and purposes, people think I'm dead.
Oh, okay.
That's why I have a new name.
Okay, so it's not like you still have contacts in there that know you and will feed you.
No, but I know people in there, but they don't know that I'm alive.
Right, like
reaching out to them would be very
contacts.
risky to do. Very, very risky.
So the answer is yes.
Might be a desperate position.
Because I was probably framed at some point, like prior to my supposed death, or like afterwards, to be like, oh, this is what happened. This is why she died.
Yeah.
So
that would make sense.
Persona non grata.
Yeah, so there are a couple options. You guys could dig more into why the Wraiths and the Bluecoats and the Inspectors are so interested in this artifact. You could do a score to get more info on that. You have your kind of lair, gang build up character sheet here, so you could go for another claim at that point. We could look over those.
We don't have we have not expanded our claim yet, right?
No, the only thing you have is informants.
Okay.
And that's Arkady and his network. So you're kind of still building out.
Okay.
You could do that, or Ophelia has been trying to get a hold of you, Caelin, for like a couple of days. Like she says that she has a job she wants you guys to do.
She wants us to do that thing. Yeah.
The what thing?
The thing that gets us involved with that group. What was the group? The one that...
Wait, what did she want us to do?
The one she hates. It's probably that.
The Hive?
The Smugglers.
Yeah, the Hive. The smuggling
that's
network.
That's going to be what she wants.
I mean, maybe. She's also has ties to the Lamp Blacks, so she could want you to help out with the war in Crow's Foot against the Crows and the Red Sashes.
Oh, well, I might as well. I mean, like, I owe it to her.
Okay.
And then once you get that info, we can decide if we want to go with that or if we want to do something different for our thing.
At some point, though, we probably have to do something for her.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I keep blowing her off.
Yeah, if you keep blowing her off, I'm gonna start a clock, or there's gonna be problems that arise from it. So yeah, she where do you meet her when you talk to her?
Man, where would she live? Where would be like a place where like? Yes, sure. What?
Nothing. I'm just voguing.
Okay, just voguing. I'm trying to think about like where would be like a place where she would like live when she's retired.
I mean, she could live a number of places. She could live in Crow's Foot if she did some good work while she was in her like prime as an inspector, or
Oh, she wasn't in one of those. She was just
or not inspector. It's
a boss.
A boss. Yeah. She could still live in Crow's Foot if she likes to keep an eye on things, especially if she has ties to the Lamp Blacks. Maybe she got enough cash during her days as a criminal to move out to Brightstone or one of the upper areas of town. She could live in Silkshore, which is like the pleasure quarter of Doskvol.
Let's just say she stays in Crow's Foot.
Okay.
But she's like in, I guess, like a building that she's like fixed up, kind of.
Okay.
So it's like
a boarding house, or
yeah, like it's kind of like she like got this like really old, large boarding house, and she's kind of just like made it her place.
Okay, cool.
So it's like one of those places that looks really shitty on the outside, but once you go in, it's actually pretty nice.
Pretty nice. What's the name of this place?
A name for it?
Mm-hmm.
Like the house's name?
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that.
Well, what neighborhood is it in?
It's in Crow's Foot.
Crow's Foot.
That's like where she is.
Crow's Foot is a slightly above slum neighborhood. It's got a whole bunch of houses and boarding houses and shops and stuff that are all crammed together in this tight little space, and it creates this hotbed of gang activity.
Is it legitimately still a boarding house?
No, she's like made it into a house.
Oh, okay. So it's just her residence.
It's just her residence now.
Ooh, it should be like all slummy areas that have boarding houses because they all have names that are super high class.
Yeah, no, that's like what I'm thinking. Like everyone just calls it by like its old name.
Like some estate or something.
Oh yeah, something estates, right?
Yeah.
Great estate.
the great estate.
It's a home for thieves everywhere.
Hey, what does the haunted trauma actually do? I picked it because it seemed to be the most sensible, but what does it say?
You're scared.
It's up to you. The book describes it as scared and terrified of past events. But you can maybe twist it however you want.
Yeah, like maybe you don't get enough sleep at night, and so you're like tired and disoriented and like not coordinated.
You often it also says this. You're often lost in reverie, reliving past horrors. Seeing things.
Nice. All right, night terrors. I love night terrors.
So is this something that you remind him of?
No.
In opportunity moments, he can employ.
He can play it up or not play it up as much as he wants, and he earns XP if he does.
Oh, and by the way,
he plays it up.
You all might remember that I'm making the jump from obligation to pleasure. I think pleasure is the category for my
your vice.
My vice,
right?
Because the other one could make sense, but it's really not good for gameplay, and it also doesn't come up in a way that is really reasonable. Whereas, especially given the recent events, I think it would make more sense that my character just likes to go after adventure and all the sneaking out and stuff like that. And it makes more sense in gameplay as well.
So it's more like adventurous and like
he's now an adrenaline junkie.
Foolhardy.
Yeah, like he's been at home at his books, living up to the family reputation.
Okay.
And now he has freedom.
He's read too many books.
Yes.
That makes
now
sense.
he wants to get out there and do the adventuring thing.
These kids.
So on top of it, it's also how he's dealing with the trauma of his parents' death.
That's kind of funny though, because like we have 3 people in this crew who what they do to relieve stress is go out and do more stealing. Like,
He's like go crazy.
Yeah, true thieves.
Put the group in danger.
Yeah, because
at every turn.
See, everyone thinks that I'm traumatized by having been attacked by that dog, but I'm telling you, I've never felt more alive.
Okay, all right. But you took haunted as your thing, so that says something about it.
But not haunted in a scared way, haunted in a sort of obsessed kind of way.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that was like amazing. You know, I could have almost taken him, and I summoned a ghost sailor to wrestle it down.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's like because when you're Arthur Arkady,
I still want to know why there were Dockman's clothes in that room.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like he killed someone.
Yeah, they've been totally sacrificed.
Probably.
Why do you think the idol's screaming, Ryan?
Anyways,
what do you think?
For the place.
Is that elephant bone or is it
human bone?
Yeah.
I feel we must return to the scene of the crime and investigate further.
Or we could just like have somebody analyze the
do that.
You know, James, if you wanted to play up that obsessed angle a little more, you could just switch your haunted to obsessed. It's one of the trauma conditions.
That would make
that's
sense.
even better.
Okay.
All right. It's like, because seriously, how much more daring would it be to come back again?
I'm not going.
Clearly, we have not been daring enough.
Yes.
You're a death dipper.
There's a
like,
difference.
how close can I get?
Daring
yeah, exactly.
and stupid.
We see no difference.
Or awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stupid is just the name that people who are cowards call awesome.
Okay.
Stupid is stupid does.
So the place where she lives is just kind of called the Foxglove.
Okay, cool.
And it was known to be a boarding house that was abandoned a long time ago. So it kind of like became kind of like a squat for like various like up and coming burnout criminal groups and stuff like that. And eventually it's kind of like a community sort of like historic building.
Okay.
And so like she's kind of like she's an interesting person in that like she's like a crime boss, but she's also like very community oriented, and she's like, I care about my community.
Mm-hmm.
So she like fixes this place up and she makes it her place, and she has people come have tea with her and stuff like that and talk about stuff. So there's like a parlor where
this is just like the Luke Cage miniseries.
Can come meet and stuff like that.
So she's an ex-crime boss, right?
Yeah.
She's not in the game. So is this one of the things where like Crow's Foot, like there's a mutual respect shared among the games, or like there's no violence in Foxglove?
She could make things happen if she wanted to. And it's called the Foxglove because it used to have tons and tons of foxglove just growing wildly around it. And foxglove is cool because it's also known as digitalis, and it's used to stop people's hearts.
That makes sense.
It's actually something that's also used to restart the rhythm of hearts in hospitals, like a medicinal version of it for arrhythmias.
That's
it's
pretty
in
cool.
the D&D resource book.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Digitalis.
So
it's also really pretty.
So what's her nationality again? What's her culture?
She's Sakarosu.
Okay.
She's,
demon, right?
No.
No.
I thought you said she was part demon.
No, not Tycheros. Not Tycheros. Akarosian is.
Oh, okay.
Is like the Doskvol
I must have
people,
misheard
the white English people.
It might have gotten brought up when we were brainstorming, and then we changed it.
Okay. So you swing by the Foxglove to talk to Ophelia.
Yeah.
And how do these conversations usually go when you talk to her?
There has to be 15 to 20 minutes of no business talk.
Okay.
She has one of those rules where it's like we have to talk. We have to, you have to have tea.
She serves you tea. Yeah.
She knows.
She's very like into sort of like respecting common decency. There has to be,
So
we're not animals here.
Right. So she's civilized.
Exactly. Yes. She is. She's got like think like Tiffany lamps, like curtains with little fringe on it. It kind of like has like a semi Bordeaux kind of look inside, but classier than that.
Okay.
But the same kind of like dark, soft, like cozy place.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So yeah, she sits you down, and you guys are having that. It's that first 20 minutes where it's like it's all small talk, and she's filling you in. She's like, "Oh yes, Crowsfoot's been such a violent place lately. The Bluecoats hardly ever come around here anymore. What with the gang wars and all that. How's it going for you, dear, over in the night market?"
Well, it's
Didn't you start up a new group? I heard.
Yes, they're. I guess you could call them growing pains. In the sense that there are some clashes in personality. I'd say that, if anything, they are a group of risk takers, which might be necessary in order to get a footing. But on the other hand, it does concern me that we may bite off more than we can chew at some point.
You most certainly will. But risk takers are good. Those are the kinds of people who can be easily controlled. You just point them in the right direction towards something dangerous, and they either get the job done or go down in a blaze.
That's true. I just worry that I will go down with them.
Yeah. Well, that would be your fault, right?
I guess. So.
Wow,
shame!
Wow.
Ooh.
How?
Ooh, chilly.
That is very Victorian.
Yes, it very much.
Did you hear? She's such a slut.
Yeah. So yeah, she sits back. She has this kind of regal pose. Mm-hmm. She's not a noble, but you guess you've interacted with her before, and
she's a person who would be able to be composed and collected and look like she owns whatever setting she's in.
Exactly, and she's grown up in a life where she's taken that for herself.
Yeah, so she's not like entitled, and she doesn't like act like formal and like stuff. She just seems like nothing. She's endless confidence.
Right, exactly.
Basically. Yeah.
So she sits there and she goes, the small talk period passes, and she goes, "So, this new group of yours, this group of risk takers, are they adverse to making a good amount of money?"
I would say it'd probably be, if anything, that is their downfall. is their eagerness.
Fantastic. I just so happen to have some money I'm willing to pay if they can complete a little job for us. Now, I'm coming to you with this, Caelin, because I trust you far above any of my other cohorts. You understand, right?
I do.
What this means is that this job will require a certain amount of finesse and secrecy. If it ever got out that I was the one who told you to do this, things could get out of hand.
I'm ready.
Nick, you could disguise yourself as her. No, I mean Will.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be ridiculous.
The current war in Crowsfoot is growing much more dangerous and volatile than anybody can handle. The Bluecoats have been chased out of the district, and I'm seriously afraid that the district is going to tear itself apart sooner or later. Now, normally, I'd just sit back and wait for this to play out on its own. Getting involved is not something I generally like to do. But in this case, there is one person who is causing a lot of problems for me. I'm sure you've heard of Lysa, the head of the Crows.
Indeed.
Yes, Rorik's murderer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whore is doing her best to to undermine my lampblacks at every single turn. And Bazo, poor head of the lampblacks that he is, cannot seem to outsmart her. I need to call in a ringer. Do you think your group is sufficient enough for this task? Can they assist me in dealing with the crows?
I feel if you gave them any proper motivation, they'd pretty much do anything.
That's good to hear. I'll keep that in mind.
My one concern has to come from the nuance that they need. As a young group, they're both metaphorically and in some senses, literally, they feel as if they are invincible. And I hope that current events may have put some sense into them.
She narrows her eyes a bit, and you can tell she's like wondering what that's all about, but she has more important business to get to. So she says, look, there is a cohort that Lyses has in her back pocket, a Tycherosi. He's a man of some renown, a master swordsman from what I'm told. He goes by the name of Orsion. Orsion is Lyses's, how do I put this? Benefactor, patron. He needs to be dealt with. Now, I know your group isn't assassins. They don't kill. That's for certain. Or yeah, what's the look on your face? Like, because if you change it, she could be like, or maybe they do. Maybe they do kill.
Well, my whole thing is that they are more concerned with money.
I'll kill for money. I'll do whatever. Yeah. I'll do whatever you want.
I mean, you would know that about them. Like, where do you want to steer this?
I guess I'm gonna say,
the
proper motivation,
I've never killed anyone.
Anything is possible.
I've never killed anyone.
So
maybe I haven't killed anyone yet either.
But I don't know about
But
him.
It's not for want of trying. It's more like we accidentally end up killing people.
Okay.
We would have to be crafty.
Yeah, you would have to be crafty. She says, well, if you're willing to just take Orsion out and make it look like a gang fight or an accident or something along those lines, that's fantastic. Otherwise, there's...
We can make anything look like a gang fight.
I have an idea.
She says, otherwise, there's something I need you to do. Orsion has with him a very interesting artifact in his possession, a bottle wrapped in this strange, thin, pale paper with odd symbols scrawled all over it. It's paramount to the Crow's plans as they move forward to take over Crowsfoot. It needs to be disappeared.
Is she getting involved in like occult stuff?
She probably is already involved in some occult stuff. Her main enemy.
She may or may not. I think people like she may or may not be a witch.
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
Like that. So, like people are like, she might be.
So the hive that are like her primary enemies, or one of her enemies that she's like dealing with, they are strictly against the occult. Yeah, they're firmly against anything occult. So that would make sense if she was more towards that. Anyway, she says it needs to be removed from Orzion's grasp. If you can steal the bottle and then either dispose of it or fence it or bring it back to me, I would happily pay you and your crew. Remember, he is Tycherosi. The strangers can have interesting ways not known to our kind. And she says strangers there as a racial slur for Tycherosi.
It seems that things get stranger and stranger every day.
Stranger things.
So it wouldn't be too out of the question.
We know how they all feel. But we are all safe here under the Confederate flag. We can use our slurs freely in this room.
What?
Well, the government has no power.
Yeah, she used the racial slur and you backed her up with a double and reinforcement. So that's like an indication of your sensibilities regarding these matters.
You're on her side with regard to
racial
slurs.
I wasn't meaning it that way. I was just meaning I was like just like musing about like how weird things have been.
I know, that's how it's taken. It's like,
but
well, the good news is that she takes it placates her.
She would take it as you backing up the racial slur,
which is fine.
I mean, I don't care what she thinks about that.
Exactly. That's something the spider would do.
Personally, as like someone from the Dagger Isles, I don't really appreciate like people throwing slurs around, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But you would definitely throw those slurs around to make sure you're in with her.
We're making money.
Or at the very least, I'll just be like,
just give me the money. Just give me the money already.
Okay, so
she's old. She's set in her ways.
So yeah,
time moves too quickly for her. She can't keep up.
She's.
I want to steal this flask. This sounds fun.
She's waiting for your response. Like.
Oh, I meant yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So she nods and goes, "Excellent. Well then, it's been a pleasure seeing you, Caelin.
Is there any information I should take with me to get started? Any direct leads you think may be helpful?
The best way to hit Orsion may be during his trips to the night market in Silkshore. He takes a carriage ride there every day, and that's the time when he's probably most vulnerable, out of the Crow's Tower and other places he secrets himself around Doskvol. Hitting him in transit may be safer than anything else. Mm-hmm. Although you'll have to be careful of the Bluecoats and other gangs that might want to get involved. Remember, this doesn't come back to me. If Humidity finds out I'm asking you to do this, it could get me in serious trouble, Caelin. I'm trusting you here.
She knows who I really am, though, too, by the way.
Oh, okay.
She does.
That's fine. She calls you Caelin at a
No, I mean, like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like,
who knows who could be listening?
Then. Okay. Yes.
Cool.
All right.